Hey beauties, and any gentlemen who might be joining us today, welcome back to my channel. In light of Father's Day, today I will be exploring the entire men's fragrance line from Parfum de Marly. I created a similar video for their women's line because this is truly one of my all-time favorite luxury niche fragrance houses. I think they have created some of the most modern, iconic fragrances that are available. And I always like to joke that women's fragrance is for women and men's fragrance is for women because as much as I know there are a lot of guys who love exploring new fragrances, they like to find the perfect scent for themselves, there is a wide majority of guys, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, brothers, who rely on the women in their life, that's us ladies, to find them the right fragrance to make them smell good. So here I have this men's exploration set, 6 fragrances, 10 milliliters each. This set is available on the Parfum de Marly website. I will link it down below because I think this is a great gift. I know today is Father's Day, but if there's a birthday, anniversary, something coming up, each set comes with this little information insert that gives you an overview on all of the fragrances. But I also have my handy dandy information notebook. So this is going to be my cheat sheet for the day. It has every fragrance listed along with all of the notes. Now I know I've smelled all of these fragrances at some point, but not at the same time and certainly not one right after another. So I'm excited to figure out which ones are my favorites. I just love the look of this set. Isn't this nice? This is beautiful for any guy. So I'm going to go through each fragrance, we'll talk about the notes, I'll share my thoughts, my opinion on each one, and then by the end of today's video, we should all have a better idea of which one sounds best. In this particular set, each of the 6 10 milliliter vials has its own little spray, so you just remove the cap, in case you were interested. So I'm starting with Pegasus. Before we spray, let's read about it. This is a fougere. It has top notes of bergamot, heliotrope, and cumin, heart notes of lavender, almond, and jasmine, base notes of amber, vanilla, and sandalwood. So this sounds like it's right up my alley. I like that mist. It's a nice fine mist. That's nice. It's the little things. I love this. That is so nice. In case you don't know, fougere is the French word for fern, but it's also an olfactive category of fragrances. Generally, they have a lot of lavender. This one does, and that's all I can smell right now. It does give it a touch of sweetness. It's kind of a breathy, fresh stroll through the forest in the morning when there's still dew on the leaves. I'm going in for the second spray. You know that's a good sign. But I just love this. And the dry down is so beautiful. What I love so much about Pegasus is that it's not overly earthy, rich, spicy. So it's on the lighter side, but it's also not kind of like an Aqua de Jo body splash. It's not citrus in your face. So it is fresh and sort of light. I think this would be a perfect daytime fragrance for men. There's something that's a bit different about it. It's not overdone. It doesn't smell like every other cologne on the fragrance wall. It's sort of this classic man fragrance. I love it. I think that's really beautiful. So Pegasus is a winner. Next up, we have Herod, which by the sound of it is going to be polar opposite to Pegasus. So this is a leather tobacco fragrance. Top notes of cinnamon and pepper, heart note of osmanthus, tobacco, frankincense, and ceast. Base notes of amber, vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, and musk. Ooh, this sounds right up my alley as well. So I have Pegasus on the hand. I'm going to go ahead and spray this on the arm. Ooh! Oh. Wow. I love it. Oh my gosh. Polar opposites is right. I didn't say this earlier. I was trying to keep an open mind, but leather tobacco fragrances, for me personally, can be too overpowering sometimes. And I know it is such a popular category. Ever since Tom Ford came out with ombre leather, Tuscan leather, tobacco oud, this category has just taken off. But sometimes those fragrances are just too strong. They're just too much. Maybe it comes down to the application, but I personally find too much leather or too much tobacco in a man's fragrance off-putting. Let me know down in the comment section if you completely disagree. But I guess that's why I find Harrod so striking, is that I can pick up the leather, I can smell the tobacco, and yet it's still really nice and inviting, and I don't feel like I'm choking on a cigar. You know, it's not overpowering. Like, a man has to be dressed up. This is definitely evening. Pegasus was daytime. Harrod is evening, maybe a special occasion, date night. Definitely date night appropriate. I would love this on my husband during a date. But any sort of special occasion when you might get dressed up, because it just smells sort of elevated. I don't know, there's something that is incredibly luxurious about it. And the dry down is even better. You get that depth and it's sort of sensual, kind of moody. This is a very sexy men's fragrance. And I don't usually love patchouli. I could take it or leave it. Definitely depends on the fragrance. But amber, vanilla, sandalwood, and musk, if those are the base notes in a women's fragrance, it's generally something that I'm obsessed with. It's going to be hard to beat Harrod, but next up is Galloway. So this comes in the all-white bottle. This is a citrus fragrance. Top note of pepper, heart note of iris, orange blossom, base note of musk and amber. So it sounds nice. It's a little bit more of a simple description than the others. Let's see. That's really beautiful. Of the 3 fragrances we've tried so far, this is the first one that is sort of reminiscent of other men's fragrances. It's not that it smells similar to something else. You know, I haven't pinpointed another fragrance, yet it's a little bit more expected, but it's still so beautiful. And as it has dried down, I get little hints of something unique. It's definitely daytime appropriate. Galloway is like the everyday man. That fragrance that you can just spray on no matter what you have planned for the day and you'll be fine. You know, it's not overpowering, it's not super spicy, it's not deep wood, it's not tobacco. It's just sort of fresh and zesty, what you would expect from a citrus fragrance. And yet that iris and orange blossom gives it a yumminess. It's sort of creamy, slightly floral, but not in a feminine way. It is so nice. I feel like this could be a dark horse favorite. It is that beautiful. Galloway might be my favorite. And they're all so different. You know, I think they serve different purposes in your fragrance wardrobe. But this is ideal for daytime. When I think of that perfect fragrance, the type of fragrance that I would want to smell continuously on a man, you know, every single day, and I wouldn't get sick of it, that is Galloway so far. I feel like they keep getting better and better, but next we have Layton, which I've heard a lot of people talk about, but I don't remember what it smells like. So this is a fougere aromatic fragrance. It has top notes of bergamot, mandarin, apple, and lavender. Apple's sort of interesting. Heart notes of violet, jasmine, and geranium, and then base notes of patchouli, sandalwood, cardamom, vanilla, and pepper. So let's give it a spray. I have one hand left. Oh my gosh. Ooh. That smells nice. Very spicy. Wow. This is by far the spiciest of all of the fragrances. Layton is very in-your-face masculine. It's by far the spiciest, and I would say it's the most masculine of the 4 fragrances I've tried so far. It's really nice, but it's a little bit heavy. I think this would be an evening fragrance, definitely not for daytime. Or if it was daytime, maybe just teeny tiny bit, like a very light spray from afar and then just walk right into it. I don't know if it's because I'm going nose blind smelling all of these fragrances, but now all I can pick up is Christmas trees. It's very pretty though. I think this is a very traditional men's fragrance. If you have a man in your life who, or perhaps you are that man, but if you just like those tried and true traditional men's type of fragrances, I think Layton would be perfect for you. It's not sweet. It's not really fresh and citrusy at all. You get a lot of the wood and spice right off the bat, which to me is like the ultimate kind of man fragrance. And just a hint of Christmas. Well, I ran out of pages in my little information booklet. I think it's probably old and needs to be updated, but I still have 2 more fragrances, so I looked up the information on the Parfum de Marly website. This next one is called Carlyle, and this is one of the more expensive fragrances. They range in price, $310, $370. This one is $370. This Discovery set is $205. And you get a lot of fragrance and you get to try them all. So I think if you're not sure which fragrance is right for you, this would be a really great option. So this says Carlyle is the embodiment of light, sunny and radiant. It boasts a warm sandalwood and vanilla accord, lifted by a spiced heart of saffron and tonka bean, with an unexpected bitter green apple twist. Ooh, that sounds really good. I love anything with tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood. Sounds really nice. Okay. I've run out of places to spray. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Wow. All I smell right now is that crisp, bitter green apple. It's nice. I think I would have to smell this on skin and I would want to smell the dry down because right now it's just not my favorite. And that's okay. You know, not every fragrance is going to speak to you. I'm sort of glad that I didn't spray this one on my body. It is really pretty. It's very light. This reminds me of the type of fragrance that you pick up but you never wear. You know, it's that second fragrance in your daytime fragrance wardrobe, but because it's not as good as your original favorite, you never grab it. Does that make sense? It's a nice fragrance, but it doesn't really compete with the previous fragrances we've smelled today. Now that they've had time to dry down a little bit more, Layton is making a run for first place. It is so beautiful. There's one last fragrance in the Discovery set. This is Percival, so I'm pulling up the information. This fragrance retails for $310, so it's on the lower end of the spectrum. It's a fresh fragrance described as aromatic, bergamot, mandarin with a woody base. Okay, we get the idea. I'm just gonna spray. It's beautiful. I love this. I wish I had arm space. Spray it. Oh my god, I just sprayed my chin.
Oh my god, I just sprayed my chin.
I'm so lucky that didn't go in my mouth. Okay. This is the ultimate men's fragrance. It just smells like your dad or maybe your husband. This to me reminds me of a fragrance that my dad would wear. It's kind of spicy, kind of fresh. It's like a little bit of everything. It's that perfect melting pot of all of the worlds that really dominate men's fragrance. You have some wood, you have some citrus. It's beautiful, but it's still kind of light. If you're the type of man who's very simple, you just want one fragrance for everything, for every occasion, day and night, I think Percival would be that fragrance. Oh, it's so pretty. You know, it's a beautiful fragrance, but it's not something that is going to start a conversation. You know, nobody's going to stop you in the street and ask you what you're wearing. They're just gonna think, wow, that guy smells really nice. Which maybe that's exactly what you're going for. You know, not everybody wants that striking fragrance that is going to stand out, because of course those fragrances tend to be polarizing. You know, some people are going to love them and then other people are going to hate them. And if it's the type of fragrance that has gained a lot of popularity and a lot of people talk about it and know about it, chances are a lot of people are going to wear it, and then it kind of loses that something special, you know, that je ne sais quoi. Those really hot wow fragrances tend to lose popularity over time, but a classic fragrance, you know, that fragrance that just smells good no matter what, no matter where you are, those are nice to have. They're great gifts as well, especially if you don't know somebody that well or you don't know what they like in a fragrance. It's kind of that safe bet. Percival is a safe bet. I would say Galloway is a safe bet. Those are the only two that I would say are definitely, maybe Layton. Layton could also be a safe bet just because it smells like a man. Those three, I don't think you can go wrong. I think everybody will like them. You know, they're crowd pleasers. You could walk in a room, you could walk by someone, and they're going to think, wow, that man smells really nice. Now, Layton. This might be the Delina to the men's line. I don't know, I'm sort of torn because I also really like Herod. I think for me personally, Herod and Layton are beautiful evening fragrances. I really like Pegasus, Galloway, Percival for daytime. And the only one that really doesn't grab my attention is Carlyle. This one. And maybe that's because I sprayed it on the card. No, that's not it. It's nice. It's just not something that I would purchase for somebody else. It's not something that I would really go wild for if I smelled it on somebody. I don't think. I'm going to have to test that out. I'm going to have to sneak attack my husband and just spray it on him and see what happens. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found this information helpful. Hopefully you saw something that interests you. There are a few other fragrances that have been added to the men's line. Unfortunately, I don't have them here to test out. They're not part of this discovery set. But I do think that of these 6 fragrances, there is definitely something here for absolutely everybody. Those are 6 incredible fragrances in their own way. You know, they serve a different purpose. They're each going to speak to somebody different. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I love hearing from you guys, so be sure to share your favorites. If you have a favorite men's fragrance, drop me a comment. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face. I'll link the discovery set down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.